Hey, what's going on, guys? Alrighty, got my drink ready, so I gotta get this bad boy prepared. Man, I took a sip. Well, I took a sip of this a couple weeks ago when I bought that whole big old box of alcohol, man. And this bad boy has quite a kick to it. So let's get ourselves started, shall we? All right, don't fall over. Hey, Ross, what's up? What's going on, Fly? How you guys doing? The top shelf spirits. I saw that in one of your messages. I mean, is that what you were talking about? This one from last week or a couple weeks ago? Yeah, last week I had the what was it? The fireball with the schnapps. I don't know why I always got to put extra emphasis on it, but schnapps. I don't know if I'm even saying it correctly, but oh yeah, that's definitely a chaser night. Oh, ugh. Oh damn. Before we begin, guys, so my buddy Irish Rebel, he just started a second YouTube channel, guys. Robert Liggins, check him out on his second YouTube. I know he's having some issues with his original channel that might be deleted soon, so maybe he could run both channels. I don't know, but I don't know the whole situation. But as far as his secondary channel, if you guys watched his stuff before, make sure you guys get over and subscribe on his new account and stay up to date with his live streams, etc. Posts, short videos. So want to give a special recognition to the Irish Rebel. Oh, gotta add some more in here. Just a little bit. I don't want a whole lot. Oh, yeah. It was like that much. Like I didn't even pour a whole bunch in there, and that's terrible. Oh God, everything is blurry as hell already. Are you kidding me? Oh, anyways, guys. Yeah, the fireball. Damn. I think I mentioned it to you last week, Ross, man. You guys know after every live stream, whether it's directly after the live stream ends or it's probably the next day, I go back and I watch, all my videos, shorts, regular videos, live streams, whatever. I'm making videos that I, as a viewer, would enjoy. So a lot of the time when the videos are premiered, when a lot of videos have finally aired, because I schedule a lot of videos, I stop being the content creator and I start being a fan. I know that sounds kind of lame. Fan of your own work, kind of. I mean, in a nutshell. So I watched all the darn. I watched the live stream last week, or last week. I did not remember a single darn thing about that damn live stream. You would probably think maybe 30 minutes in, 45 minutes in, etc. Once it like really hit home that, maybe that's where I'd start, being dazed and confused and, suffering memory loss, whatever. But no, even beforehand, I could not remember a thing. Like watching that live stream was literally as if I was watching somebody else's video, somebody else's channel for the first time or whatnot. So it was pretty darn crazy. And I was still, normally I'm not hungover the next day. I might feel a little sick, but not your prototypical hangover. But this time, like it's like when you take sleeping pills and you're supposed to be passed out for like 8 hours and you wake up like 2 hours later, how your mind is. Well, it kind of feels like that. So, all right. Dwayne, what's going on, bro? Bumming out. Yes, sir. Maddie. Dude, when I was in Afghanistan, my first time in Afghanistan, working for Mantech International. part of the SOCOM contract. There was when I was in Shindan over on Firebase Thomas, which was the SF compound. There was me and there was a mechanic named Matt. So I was always Matthew because I don't know, maybe that's preference. I don't know, but most of us we just called him Matt. And I think for me that's another thing. Like when somebody asks me my name, it's Matthew. But when I speak to another Matthew, it's Matt. Like it just I don't know. I think that's how I break it down. Uh, there was this girl I dated sophomore year of high school. Her name was Elizabeth, and her best friend's name was Elizabeth. So like she was Liz, and the other girl was Beth, or maybe she was Elizabeth and the other girl was Beth. So that's how I kind of like they break it down, right? And so I kind of make that comparison. So when I'm speaking to another Matthew, it's unless they say, "Hey, I prefer the full name," but anyways, he one of the mechanics, Matt Dorman, he was a site lead. He was a mechanic, but he was also the site lead of Firebase Thomas. And one of the other mechanics, like anytime he'd ever need a man, Matt Dorman, he'd be like up in his room, doing clerical work on the computer, whatever. And one of the mechanics, they'd run up to his room, Maddie, and right in that bottom section would be the shop warehouse or the shop office. That's where the Lockheed Martin mechanic worked, and that's where I, as the Mantech logistician, worked out of. And just hearing a grown ass man, 30 something years old, 40 something years old, call another grown ass man Maddie, I'm like weird, man. Like I think my mom and my aunt Pam were probably like the only people I could ever remember actually calling me Maddie. Maybe my dad when I was a kid, but I really don't remember that. But strange, the things that you kind of remember when everything else is a freaking blur in your mind, right? Oh, damn. I was sitting outside. Let me actually, before I get to that, let me answer some of these questions. Do you have a red robe for John Stud LJN? I do not. Do you have a custom robe for the particular figure? Because that's pretty badass. Um, hey Rick, what's happening, man? Always, buddy. Or at least I try to be as much as possible. I'm gonna try and do another full one. God damn it! Why am I always spilling? Because my eyes are horrible, and where I'm pouring it is freaking dark over here. But it's like this much of a separation, and you're telling me that's too dark for my eyes? Do not have eye surgery. Don't ever try to get LASIK or anything like that. That crap destroyed my vision. I went from like so-and-so vision. Like if I were to wear glasses, yeah, it would improve my sight. It would make words bigger, bolder, right? But without glasses, like I wasn't blind. Like I saw perfectly fine. But I went in and tried to get, surgery done my eyes to make it perfect. What do they call it? 20 out of 20, 40 out of 40, whatever. 2020 vision, perfect vision. And I never saw any improvements in my vision whatsoever. And as the years progressed, I started realizing that they actually screwed up the corneas of my eyes. So now, like everything, when I walk around, everything is just basically a blur. Like I don't see anything in crystal clarity anymore, which really sucks. So I think it's only a matter of time before like even reading a computer screen is going to be too much for me. So that's sad. So I could also blame it on the fact that it was done at Darnell Hospital in Fort Hood, Texas. Oh God. Oh, my mind is heavy. But I don't even think like a lot of the time you used to think that the medical doctors were, lieutenant colonels. Actually, no. If you are a doctor, do you come into the army? Because obviously, all military if you have a 4 years bachelor's degree, you come into the Army as a specialist. And if you're signed up for OCS, Officer Candidate School, right after basic training, you go to OCS and then you're pinned to second lieutenant. But doctors are different. So if you have like a doctorate's degree, I think it's like a guaranteed rank, but I don't remember what it was. It's not second lieutenant. Like I think it's either captain or major. I think that's the lowest one. But could you imagine being like a 20-year, neurosurgeon, and you come into the Army and you're only a major? It's like, dude, you better give me my full bird colonel rank at that point, right? So, but uh, they do away with a lot of Army doctors, and they bring in civilian doctors. So back in 2010, I don't even know if I had a regular Army doctor that did my surgery, or if it was a legitimate private, surgeon, private doctor. So civilian doctor, I should say. I mean, really, would it have made that much of a difference? Probably. I don't know. But like my wife, she got her surgery done probably 2-3 years prior, and something that we paid out of pocket for. And she said her vision was perfect afterwards, and it was like almost immediate. I got mine for free on Fort Hood, and it's one of those regrets that you look back on. You wish you're like, damn, you should have stayed where you were. All right. Your name is Patrick. I have another buddy named your name is Mattress. Matthew. Mattress. Nah, I don't hear it. Maybe it's just because now I'm enunciating, where before I might have said it really fast. So I don't know. Maybe slurred speech because this drink has already killed me 12 minutes in. Yeah, I tend to black. I don't say blackout. That's I think that's going to the extreme. But I don't think when I get to a point anymore where like I don't have the faculties to think clearly anymore. I think that from now on, that's where I'm going to start cutting off the stream. I've been trying to fight through it and stay on as long as I can. Keep those 2, 3, 4 hour streams if people want them, but if it's like an hour and a half hour in, and like I'm bouncing off the past, like literally passing out, falling asleep on, it's time to cut it off. So that's so live streams from now may not be as long. Also, guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of you notated that I put on subscribers only for this live stream. So I said last week that I kind of wanted to start doing that this week because I want anyone that can, watch the video, anyone that can, leave comments to be subscribed to the channel. Obviously it helps me out a whole lot, right? But I also think that the live streams are, sacred and very personal for the viewers, for the actual subscribers who tune in every day. So I also kind of think I want this to be important for you guys. So that's why I kind of started doing it that way. Oh, got an update from Sin Bodhi a couple days ago. The last 4 figures that I ordered are prepared, and he is ready to ship them out. So I don't know as of today if he shipped them out or not. If not, it might be somewhere between Monday through Wednesday, I would guess. But if he did ship them out today, I would probably say it would probably take about a week. So from his location, about 5 to 7 days, I would say. So by next Saturday, I might have those figures to show off. And technically, we could classify those as the sort of prototypes that Maniac Right Wrestling is going to consist of. So, and they're going to be rubber figures, so it's going to give you a better idea than just like the hard resin figure that I had before with my other soldier. So that's another option. And I think the soldier one, I'm getting another soldier one, but it's going to be a different color scheme, BDU woodland camouflage. So that is going to be an amazing live stream. Now, oh damn! You know what? I might want to hold off on doing that next week because I still got to get one out to BBA. Uh, I would love to do a what do you call it? Keeps on StreamYard. I would love to do a StreamYard review or live stream where he and I kind of unbox the figure together or something. Or at the very least, wait till he opens it up and we could kind of look at it, talk about it on live stream. I know he said he's good on Wednesdays and I believe Wednesdays and Thursdays. So, this Wednesday, I might reach out to him and see if he's free this Wednesday. So that could be a possibility. Well, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, assuming it's received by next week. So the following Wednesday, that might be a 2 live stream week. This coming Wednesday, I'll let you guys know. It's either Wednesday or Thursday. Let's say Thursday. I think we changed it. I think it's Thursday. Kirk's Corner had this stupid crap happen to him on eBay. And I love bitching about eBay because a lot of people on there are jackasses. Most people you deal with are honest to God, good people, but you run into these little scammers from time to time. And he told a story that just made me, infuriated. So instead of me telling, making a regular eBay video telling his story, I figure, you know what? Let's do that StreamYard. Let's Kirk's Corner and I come together and make a live stream next week for you guys. So Thursday, we'll probably have another live stream that day, as well as our regular Saturday live stream per usual. Now, that one may not go long. It could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour. But that's basically the topic of discussion is, what happened to eBay and, some recommendations I might have, especially for people who buy on eBay or are new to the platform, things like that, who might want to tune in to watch that. So I'm looking forward to that video. I think that's going to be really enjoyable. So how much do you think your entire collection is worth? Man, everybody keeps asking that question. I honestly don't know how to put a value on it. To me, it's priceless. To me, I think it's worth like $3 million. But is it? I know, priceless, $3 million. Well, dude, you just put a price on it. I would like to say it's worth $3 million, but in reality, you put that entire collection up at an auction, invited every single person on the planet, and said, "Hey, all of these items are going to be sold," and every one of the 7 or 8 billion people on this planet go to eBay and they look at that item and they bid on that item. I mean, what would it actually sell for? Obviously, 7 billion people are not interested in that item. Maybe 1,000 people are interested. Maybe 100 people. Maybe 5 people in the whole world are actually looking to pay for that item. So I know I over talk when it comes to these things, but I'd probably say $500,000 would be my estimation. I hope, because that is supposed to be my retirement. I mean, it's personal for me that it was supposed to be with me forever. 20, 30 years from now, you know what? It doesn't really hold value to me as a 70-year-old man looking at toys. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather sell the stuff, get money back, and go traveling, go to Greece or Egypt or something, something places I've never been before. Do something before my life is over. Or hell, do like what a lot of these retired couples do. They basically live on cruise ships. So let's say I value it at $500,000 and I end up putting all that stuff on auction today. I might only earn, pre-tax and everything, let's say 75,000. Does 75,000 make it what it's worth? Of course not. It's just, so it's really tough to give an evaluation. But at the end of the day, I'm not freaking, what was that guy's? Bobby's Toy Closet. Oh my freaking God. I call it the Bobby's Toy Closet Blue Book Evaluation System. If you got anything on card, doesn't matter what that card is, it's probably about a $500 or $600 figure. But you want it on auction with 72 people bidding, and you want it on auction for $21.19. That's okay. According to Bobby's Blue Book, that damn thing is worth at least $1,000. Oh God, this is so bad. I can't even finish the whole thing. Mm. Yeah, man, I saw all those tag teams and they're freaking awesome. I've always said that I think that the kayfabe heroes, I just simply break it down to quick, KWK, right? I think they are, obviously they don't mesh well with Hasbro's 100%. But look at Mattel Retros. They're supposed to be the direct replica or the direct descendant of Hasbro's, and even they don't mesh well with the Hasbro's. The bodies are too big, too wide. So even the direct descendant isn't doing that 100% comparison. But basically anything that's wrestling figure related that's in that sort of scale, that 4-inch cartoon type look, I basically call them Hasbro style or Hasbro-esque figures. And Quick, to me, they have what, in my opinion, probably the most valuable figures in the line, in any retro line. Think Mantar, his Mantar helmet, for example. I think that accessory alone is probably a good $75 to $100 accessory. So when you see this figure selling for $200+, you understand why, because when the accessory alone is probably more valuable than a lot of these other companies' actual wrestling figures, that just speaks volumes. You look at the conquistadors, you look at their robes, you look at the different pieces that went to Max Moon, right? Comet Kid in the first set of figures. Things like that. It's just PN News and his accessories. So a lot of time and effort. I love the thickness and size of those figures and the weight. So are they my number one favorite? No, but I do think, as far as Hasbro style figures, I think Quick are probably the most valuable pieces. I'll always be Hasbro first before anything else. But when it comes to retros, I think grapplers and gimmicks and wrestle something wrestlers are probably the closest to mimicking the Hasbro line. And of course, you got to put Mattel Retros in there because, I mean, they're decent figures. They're not bad. I mean, some of them leave much to be desired, but overall, they're adequate. And they display nice, so you really can't be too mad about it. Oh, yeah, I took a full shot that time. The others were just like little pecks. That one, oh God, no. That one messed up my head. Hey, Irish, what's happening, brother? Hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Oh, there's also something else. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know if it's someone who subscribed to me or if it's just some random person that just found my account. Maybe because there's certain people in the community that, I watch, right? We all make very similar videos. We all talk about the same stuff that we love. It's usually vintage. It's usually collectibles. It's history. So a lot of us are subscribed to each other's accounts, which is fantastic. One thing I will say, guys, 99.9% of the time, if somebody leaves a message on any video of mine, I won't delete it. You're critiquing me, criticizing me. You know what? I let it be. I'll respond. Hey, thanks for the reply. Answer the question or whatnot. make a statement, but I'll leave it up. Whatever. It's communication. However, if someone, I don't know if they're in the live stream today, but or we'll watch this later on. Please don't come onto my channel and leaving spiteful, hateful comments about other YouTubers, guys that I watch, guys that I support. I woke up like super freaking early this morning, and I checked my phone notifications. I saw all these hateful messages, not directed at me. No, someone came onto my channel and was responding to another YouTuber who left a message on my videos. I'm like, dude, that's horrendous. That's so damn disrespectful. And so I did what I had to. I think I hid the comment or something, if that's correct. I know that's probably just a one-off, but again, I'm assuming that the person's probably watching or will watch this video. If that happens, I just want them to know that that wasn't cool at all. So that's it on that one. Let's add some of this stuff. Mattel just released a new 4-pack of retros. Yes, they did. Ultimate Warrior. Let's start off with him. I can't really complain about Ultimate Warrior for many reasons. One of my favorite wrestlers, my number 2 favorite all time behind Hogan. They changed the fighting pose from the first series, which is fantastic. It gives you a different figure. Still not the pose I would prefer for the retro line, but it's different, which is great. I think it's like is it? Because the first one he had like the John Cena, fighting pose. The one he kind of goes like so, right? I think they did, if I recall correctly, I think they did change the fighting pose in this release, and I think they put him in his 1989 blue trunks gear, if I'm not mistaken. So when you look at the 1989 Grand Toys poster of Ultimate Warrior, that blue trunks, that's what they released this one. So I absolutely love that. Don't do that. Don't drink it like that. Don't try and sip it like water. That crap burns. Oh. All right. Bobby Heenan. Love it. You got several managers, including ring announcers. I think that's an amazing addition. The only downside is the fact that Epic Toys released 2 variations of their own figure. That's why I don't like that all these companies are mass producing the same exact line. I think Hasbro was special because of its uniqueness. It's different from other lines. LJN rubber, okay. Galoob, pretty much rubber too, but like such a hard rubber that's hard rubber, hard plastic. But the Hasbros, the action features on those, you had original San Francisco that try to mimic them. Mattel Retros, they do a good job, obviously mimicking them. Little buttons on the back that other LJN figures like Thundercats and stuff had that stuff, but I get it. It's not necessarily unique per se, but there were no buttons to push to move the arms and hands. The fact that they had their own unique function, their own unique action, that's what makes Hasbro so above all the other lines and so unique, so special. But now you got like 20 different Hasbro-esque retro lines out there making the exact style figures, and they're all releasing the exact same characters. And especially when it's the same look, same design, it's really frustrating. It looks like a lot of times, a lot of people are going off of one singular design, like Sherry Martel. There have been customizers making Sherry Martel Hasbro figure for months before Grapplers and Gimmicks ever came out with their version. And when Grapplers and Gimmicks came out with their Sherry Martel, it was practically identical to the one that these customizers were making. not too long after that, here comes Sherry Martel with the Mattel Retros. So again, you're mass producing the same characters. It's like you really do have to pick a line that you love more than anything because it's going to be way too expensive for people to keep buying from all these different companies, especially when they just will not stop releasing them. It's like, have a little break in between releases, right? But so I love Bobby Heenan. I think he's a great addition. Virgil, I love that Virgil. If you look at his body, look at like Hasbro Butch or Luke in Series 10. But the Bushwhackers, if you look at Series 2 $1 Million Man, if you look at IRS, they'll have like that small legs where it kind of looks like the torso is just kind of sitting on top of legs. It's like a very squared Lego style figure. Definitely one of the most odd looking figures in the line with the IRS, etc. Right. So I like that fact that they made Virgil in a very similar pose in that respect because it kind of bleeds in with that IRS. It bleeds in with that Series 2 $1 Million Man. And Harley Race. I think that's going to be obviously the most important addition for the entire release. So yeah, I bought 2 sets of these. I think it was necessary. I realized that with the last Mattel creations that came out, I must have only bought 1 set. And when I did my Mattel review, I probably opened the package and displayed the figures loose because I, for the love of me, cannot find the carded package for the Mattel Retros for the last series. And I think that's what happened. I think or it was the last series, but maybe the series before. But I buy so many and I keep the boxes. So I'm trying to like store all these boxes in areas where it's, displayed, not displayed, but where it's nice and tight and not out of the way, looks nice, presentable. And who knows where I put that darn thing if I do. So I might have to buy another set. I replaced my Heels and Faces Zombie Sailor toys inside my main display room. And I'm going to start using that back wall as well as the door for Mattel Creations. Since Ringside Collectibles is a 2-pack every time, obviously I can't hang those up. But I think Mattel Creations from here on out would be a good line to put in its place. So I'm bad. Oh man. Hey Irish. Yeah, you can head over here anytime, buddy. You and I could do a live stream together. That'd be pretty freaking sweet. In fact, shoot, talking about this live stream or this StreamYard. Hey, if it works out, man, I might want to reach out to you one day to do a live stream. I think that'd be fun as hell. Damn, I never do watch any of those AEW stuff, but whenever I listen to your live streams, I hear you talk about it and whatnot. I mean, I find more information from you about that than I do anything else. But about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I finally watched like Netflix Monday Night Raw. It's probably the first time in 27 years, 28 years that I actually watched anything wrestling on live TV. So that's crazy. But it was the most boring crap in the world. Oh my freaking God. The wrestling was atrocious. The commentating was lackluster. The whole aura, the whole feel of watching it was just not good at all. And I'm like, I can still go back and watch YouTube videos of, 80s and 90s wrestling matches that I grew up watching. And I still get that same rush from watching those matches I did when I was a kid. So I know it's not that, hey, you just lost interest in wrestling. No. Obviously in 95 when WWF started going downhill, that may have had contributed, but I still liked all the characters that came out in 95. I know he's having his issues today, but Drosy was a good character that I liked for whatever reason, even though he gets a lot of hate for the whole dump truck, truck driver thing, but um, the Godwins, Henry Godwin was a fun character, I think. I mean, Jeff Jarrett was annoying as hell, but I mean, it still made good comedy. Whenever he tried to, do the whole JEFFJA R E T, I'm like, lame. And as a kid, I was always mad as hell about that because I only had the T in my first name that repeated, so I'd always sit there and mimic him, probably mockingly for all I know, and and I'll be like MA double T, and then I obviously start spelling the rest of my name out, including last name, and that's all I had to give. And I'd sit there, I'm like, shit. Like I'd be so damn disappointed that that's it. That's all I had to offer was one replica. I did come prepared today. Well, sort of. I ate half of it before the stream. Mm. Hey, Kentucky. Mm. Cat tax for your live stream. Modern wrestling is all about cooperating to get your flips and spots in. Kind of crappy. Um, what was that one match I watched at the end? I think it was one of the Usos, if I recall correctly. Was it a championship match? Was one of the Uso brothers a champion? I'm not keeping up with like modern day wrestling or anything, so I really can't talk on the subject. Like a lot of stuff that I learned about modern day wrestling, I learned from watching you guys, watching YouTube and videos and other people talk about it, whatnot. I'll watch Irish Rebel talk about AEW and talk about what happened during the events and everything. But hearing that recap, but as far as sitting down and actually trying to sit down and watch those matches, I'd probably be bored on my freaking mind. So I'd rather listen to the recap and the opinions of what happened, during that taping than to sit there and watch myself. If we're being honest about it, but early childhood, I mean, there was no bigger entertainment. Still hate that they put the word entertainment in WWF. All because of that wildlife WWF BS. I could be wrong, but I think World Wrestling Federation predated that company. But hey, Corey, man, I see you down there, bud. Don't forget, I need you at 9 to feed the small ones. Oh, honey, I don't think I'm going to be able to help you at 9 o'clock. And occasionally destroying a Home Depot worth of the furniture. Oh, God. Cat tax for your live stream. Well, now that I go back and read that, now I know why you mentioned the cat tax. No, shit, today's what, Saturday? So probably Thursday night. I was in the front yard. I was mowing the grass, and about a month plus, whenever Tom Drexler was here, the guys that basically do everything around Louisville. I've talked about them on my channel a million times. They do electricity, they do plumbing, and what else do they do? So they've done, like, when I had the flood, they took care of that stuff. They did excavation, swapped out the pipes, the flex tubing, or you guys keep telling me what it's called, but I keep forgetting what it's called. The red and blue tubing, replacing the copper pipes, stuff like that. They remodeled the bathroom. They did the recessed lights in the garage, the display room, and the storage room. So I mean, they input the new outdoor outlet, indoor outlets. So a million different things I've had them do over the last few years. We got a new furnace through them, a new water heater through them. So this household has basically kept them in business ourselves. Jesus Christ. I'm interested in looking at those numbers and seeing how much money I paid into everything I just described. But back to the story. They when they did the outdoor outlet that we plugged the swimming pool into, they pushed the tree out of the way because they had to get to the meter over there on the side of the wall, and they had to like kind of run the piping down the side of the house. So a tree went from standing up to kind of doing the whole Michael Jackson smooth criminal lane. And I'm looking at that. I'm like, no, I can't stand it. It looks ugly. There are a lot of dead branches on there. I'm like, got the little clippers, clip down that entire darn thing. And buried right in the corner of the house, right near the fireplace, was, two baby kittens. They had to be about 2, maybe 3 weeks old. So I brought them both inside the house. And for these last few days, my wife and I have been caring for them. She ordered some formula. She got some, nipples that you put on the little syringe and whatnot, so that she can, formula feed the kittens. Ordered a new heating pad for them. So took them to the vet once or twice already. So those kittens. I'm gonna probably name the gray one. I think that's Squeaky, and I think the white one. We're gonna call him Seagull, because that damn thing squawks like a seagull. It's the weirdest freaking thing. Anytime you separate the kittens, like they get so scared, they're they're all over each other, and I just sit there. I'm like, oh, that's adorable. In about 2 weeks to a month, you guys are gonna hate each other. My wife goes and she slaps me. But it's true, man. You always see that when they're babies, but as soon as they grow up just a little bit, fighting for food, fighting for attention, fighting to sit on, my wife's lap or something, they're gonna end up hating each other. Every time they walk by, they're gonna swap at each other, hiss at each other. So, but it's cute to see them, scrunched up and covering each other like that, like a big giant ball of fur. You better help her in the doghouse. Well, shit. I mean, to feed them, that takes like 15 minutes to feed those two cats. So, I don't want to leave the live stream running for 15 minutes. I could sign out, come back in, but she will be all right. 88 to 92. I pretty much I would probably say between 85 and 93, or 84 to 93, maybe 94. But for me personally, what I could remember, growing up watching, obviously when you're 5 years old, that's when your memories like really kick in. Like when we can actually remember stuff and I kind of think like 1990 to 92 were probably the highlight years for me. So ages 5 to 7. But so yeah, 90 to 92 would be like the premier years for me personally. But I think wrestling in general, hit that high point in about 82, 83 and really turned that corner in 84. And of course, Hogan. Everybody wants to hate on the man that basically became Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa 14 years later. That home run chase brought fans back to baseball. So, and that's basically what Hogan was to WWF. I don't think necessarily that people weren't, fans of wrestling. Just I'm pretty sure they don't have the reach that they would have had, 5 years later, 10 years later, if it wasn't for that. So, that's terrible. I think WWF was like that. I think WWF was actually Triple WF when the World Wildlife Fund was already established. Yeah, so WWF dropped the second or the first W when early 80s, I think, 81. I got that year right ish. Yeah, that's possible. So that would make it about 40, almost 50 years. Damn. Yeah, that sounds about accurate, but that's a long ass time. You don't really think of it being that old, but sounds about accurate. Yeah. He stuck World Wrestling Entertainment because of the wildlife WWF, and I think they were going to sue WWF if they didn't change the name or something. If I can recall correctly. Mm. PEX tubing. I can't remember that. I will never in a million years remember that. Mm. Show them from the phone. I would bring them, but they're sleeping in. Um, I don't know if you guys would be able to see the pictures I took from the phone. So, but if you look at my YouTube community notes or if you see my Facebook post, I did post pictures of the new kittens. So, if you're interested, those little butterballs, they're like literally about the size of your hand, maybe smaller, man. They're little tiny giblets, man. I think that's so freaking adorable. Then they're gonna grow up into big cats, and I'm gonna like get away from me. You're not cute anymore. Nah, I don't treat them like that. My oldest boy, he's 20. I think he's jealous of the kittens though. Like he doesn't come near them. He doesn't even stay downstairs anymore. Now he sulks upstairs on the second floor, and he sleeps on like the cat tower. Doesn't go to the bed or nothing. I'm like, oh my god, you what a little princess. Like what a little prima donna. But that's my boy right there. He shall outlive us all. This is for the fox. Yeah, I gotta start taking like little small sips. Mm. I don't keep up the champions anymore either. The only world championship is the RWO World Heavyweight Championship. That's such good stuff, man. um, so, hey, you guys see here RW Entertainment. If you guys haven't done so, subscribe to him as well. I know we talked about Irish Fell at the beginning of the video, but RWO, I know he wants to do some live streams, so let's get him to 50. I think that was the number. You got to have 50 subscribers to live stream. So that would be pretty freaking awesome. Squeaky and Squawky. I did say that he squawks, didn't I? Woodwork. Mm-hmm. That would definitely work. Oh man. Ooh, that head is spinning. Super Bird Fuego. It's the spicy Blanca tequila. But I don't see the alcohol per volume on here. But it's got to be like crazy freaking high. Like it's got to be like 100% or something. It says 80 proof. That's it. Only 80 proof. I say only 80 proof. Oh God, like I don't like eating on live streams, but I kind of feel like it's necessary today after the last several days. Oh, that was the big thing for this video. Live streams. Every live stream, I put a note, a description of the video, and then a title for the video, right? And the title is usually something that the live stream is going to be about. But I'm making this before the live stream actually airs, right? So, about a month and a half ago, something like that, 4 or 5 weeks ago, there was this live stream, and the very beginning of the title said something like, "Have I finally made it as a YouTuber?" And going back and realizing that at no point during that live stream did I ever actually talk about that or answer the question as to why I put that in the title. Last week, I was supposed to talk about this event that happened at a Meyer grocery store where a young kid was terminated because he was eating discard food. That was supposed to be the main topic of discussion for that live stream, and we never got around to talking about it. And that happens quite frequently in my live stream. So that's today is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and rehash some of these questions that you guys may have asked me, but I was too sauced to answer. Or what was one thing I was reading the other day, which I thought was hilarious? Oh man, I don't know who said it, but I'm like, you're funny as shit. But I'm like, it's the sleeping part of the live stream. And I'm like, facts. I mean, damn. Well, I watched that live stream last week, and I did, like I said in the very beginning, I did not remember anything from that. Not even the beginning when I was sober and just starting, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? That was some heavy stuff right there. I can't be continuously doing that where I'm like, I mean, here's the thing. Somebody was doing a lot of talking. Somebody was doing a lot of reading, answering questions through the messages. I started reading through it and started seeing all these comments, and I'm like, oh man, I probably missed like 50 minutes worth of questions. And then watching this live stream, I'm like, no, I'm freaking going through. I'm zipping through. I'm answering all of them. Like, no shit. I was actually active. Yeah, I wasn't just passed out or anything. And people asking what? No. And I think that's also, I don't want to say scary, but that's freaking weird as hell. You guys watch Rick and Morty, and it's like there's this one episode where Rick Sanchez, he creates this device that when the family goes to sleep, their subconscious wakes up and starts doing chores around the house. Like maybe Summer's job is to wash the dishes. Maybe Morty, maybe he doesn't want to work out during the day when he's awake, but you know what? When he's asleep, let his subconscious do workouts for him. So when he wakes up the next morning, he's got this like killer 6-pack abs because his subconscious was doing like nothing but sit-ups the entire night. I think that's kind of like how it happened with me last week. Like I kind of passed out. My subconscious kind of took over as a secondary person. I think that's freaking funny as hell. Who would know that a cartoon like Rick and Morty can actually be a sort of true story? But I mean, I'm not the only one who actively drinks and passes out consciously, but subconsciously still functional. Best years for me. Then I stopped watching wrestling altogether. Yeah, I think I should have stayed watching wrestling. I gave it up because baseball was my new obsession, right? But people watch multiple sports. It's not like if you're a hockey fan, you can't watch soccer or tennis or whatever it is. If you're a sports fan and you enjoy sports, you're pretty much going to watch everything. I mean, in 97, 98, I mean, I was still watching Bulls games. So it's not like just because I started watching baseball, a whole lot more, it doesn't mean that they pretty much gave that up. 96, I watched a little bit of baseball, but not a whole lot. Nothing to like I knew Scott Bullitt and Ozzie Timmons, Brian McRae and Sammy Sosa and I think Ray Sanchez and Mark Ray, Scott Sorvis were on that team. Steve Traxel, I think Jim Bullinger, maybe, or he may have been gone. I don't remember, but who can remember those freaking names, right? Like Jim Bullinger. Bullinger may have been gone. He may have been gone like 95. But all of these different cats that, yeah, you watched enough to kind of get a feel for them. But outside of Sammy Sosa, Mark Race, I mean, there really wasn't no major superstar. 96, I mean, that's the first year return. Actually, no, because Ryan Sandberg came back in 96. So, yeah, so Ray Sanchez must have been like the starting second baseman like the previous year or two. I think after the only reason I can remember that is because Frank Thomas's, I think it was called Frank Thomas's RBI Baseball or something like that. Frank Thomas, Major League Baseball for the Super Nintendo. And what I loved about that game, cough, sarcasm, Jim Bullinger and Jamie Navarro, both right-handed pitchers, but in that video game, they make Jim Bullinger, a left-handed thrower. I'm like, that's so. Or Jamie Navarro, left-handed thrower. I'm like, come on. I think you could also do like a legends in that video game, and you could create players. And I gotta forget the names that my brother chose to create, but there were names like Frank Robinson, for example, or maybe Willie Mays was created or something. But like I'd have Hank Aaron on my team, and Hank Aaron would be like white as hell. I'm like, come on, man, really? This is what you give us? Give us a real base. But it was a fun game back in like 94, 95 when that video game came out. But then you compare it to like baseball, MLB 98, 99 for the PlayStation later on. Oh, God, those games were like, the graphics were like the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life. By today's standards, those graphics are horrendous, but there's a reason I still play the original MLB baseball game for the original PlayStation. It's the only video game I really thoroughly enjoy and can play the season over and over again. So, gotta check it with Chucky Fett. Hey, Ross, yes. Speaking of which, my wife and I were able to do a Walmart. Well, we ordered on Walmart, so we're gonna have a delivery. We don't have a Speedway, or was it Safe? No, you said Safeway. We don't have a Safeway in Louisville. And for whatever reason, I was thinking when I heard Safeway, I was thinking gas station. So I'm like, okay, they have it at the gas station. That's awesome. Say Speedway. That's the gas station. So, and then when you said Safeway grocery store, I'm like, okay, not the same thing then. And that's why I had to kind of look it up to see where it was located. But no, it's Speedway I was thinking about. But I looked up and we had it at Walmart, so we got a few boxes, or at least one box. I think one of them we had to cancel because they wanted like $15 shipping on it. I'm like, to ship a 12-pack of pop, like, no. At some point, we'll go out to the grocery store, or we'll go out and we'll drive past, and I'll run in and see if it's available. But I did pick up the pineapple Michael Myers version. So they got Michael Myers, they got Chucky, they got Five Nights at Freddy. I think one of them was like a black phone horror theme, and who else was I missing? I think Megan. Megan was we could not find Megan. Like there was like non-existent. Like Megan Grape Fanta does not exist. But I know we got the Michael Myers pineapple, and for a starter, that should suffice. I wanted it here today because I wanted to kind of have it for this video, but that's fine. Hey, what's up, BBA? The eight, wake it up. They are waking up. All right. Hey, give me until at least 9:30. That'll give me an hour and a half. That should be sufficient. Thumbs up, skis. Back to work and a cook. We hang out tickets on old gin ropes. One is taken apart, just a little tiny stretchy thing. Stretchy string. But I would have never guessed I should post pics. We hang on old gin ropes. It's 9 p.m. Time to sign off, my dear. Oh my God, somebody's being pushy. Hey guys, kittens need me because I take my shirt off because they get the darn formula all over my clothes, and I'm like, oh, I ain't time for that crap. And those little suckers like to sit there and try to freaking feed on me or nurse on me. I'm like, dude, no, I'm not your mom. But I'm gonna sign off temporarily, guys. But I am gonna sign back on probably in like the next give me 15, 20 minutes. I just don't want to leave you guys hanging. So I did it again. Son of a bitch. I still didn't talk about the two topics of discussion I wanted to. Do not let me forget. God damn. That sucks. Even when I'm thinking about it, I can't. I'm not thinking about it. Go make them biscuits. Yeah, that's basically what cats do, man. Sit there and they knead on you and like weird. But guys, we're an hour in, and I am going to sign off here, guys. But 9:03, I will try to be back in about 15, 20 minutes. So let's say 9:20 p.m. Eastern time, whatever time that is by you guys, if you're Central or Mountain, I don't know. But so to be continued. Yes, sir. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.